Hello, online crew. How's things in your part of the world? I hope they're amazing. Today, I want to share with you something that may be the reason as to why you're not achieving as much as you would like to achieve at this point in time. So, there's a few things that I want to share with you, and where this comes from is I don't know if any of you have been playing along with this in the last week, but Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi have just been doing like what's it called? Time to Thrive challenge. So, any of you watching, have you participated in that? Watched some of that? Know what I'm talking about at all with this challenge? Some of you may have heard about it, but but haven't really participated in it. Some of you might have sort of opted into it and just watched a day here or a few hours here or there. Some of you may not have any idea what I'm talking about. So let me know where you sit with Tony and Dean's Time to Thrive challenge. Now, it's hours and hours and hours and hours of content that they've put out there for anybody and everybody. I think almost 1 million people actually opted into it. But there's just something that really struck me about it. I certainly haven't watched all of the content or all of the hours, like it's hours and hours and hours and hours of content. But I did watch some of it, and there was a couple of things that I just really want to share with you because I think it's really important. If we've not met before, my name's Helen Martin. I'm your online crew captain. This is just a little bit of fun for our online crew community here of entrepreneurs, home-based business owners, direct sellers, social sellers, any of you that are trying to build a home-based business online, but do it in a way where you're a human before a marketer. Like, it's really important to you to have integrity and authenticity and be really genuine in the relationships you build in social media before putting your hand in your wallet or in your pocket. Then that's the kind of content that I share. I don't care if it takes me a little bit longer to build my business than others. If I can do it with my head held high, knowing that I'm doing, all the right things on social media, then that's fine by me. So if that's what resonates with you, then you're in the right place. Why I've got the thing scrolling on the bottom there is everything that's coming up this week is all on that link. So Instagram, you can't see that. YouTube, you can't see that yet. But helenmartinonline.com/events. That's where we've got the link to Clubhouse tomorrow, where we're talking about how important a daily method of operation is. And ideas for how you can create one of your own. Coaching community members, I'm giving you a blueprint for content creation, so you can get the link to that. We've got the lead generation bootcamp coming up next week. The link to that is on that link as well. So if you want to attract more leads on social media, you want to know what leads are, how to attract them, what to do with them, how to convert them, then absolutely join us next week for the lead generation challenge bootcamp. Just a warning though, that bootcamp is only being held in my free social media strategies Facebook group. I will not be live on my business page. I will not be live on Instagram at all next week. It's all happening in my free social media group. So make sure if you're watching from somewhere else other than the group at the moment, that you request to join Social Media Strategies for Home Business Owners Facebook group. Okay, so that's just a bit of an update of what's happening this week. But you can get all that details from helenmartinonline.com/events, because I don't want you to miss any of the good stuff coming up this week. Before I get into the content and what I want to share with you, and this is really important, and this is something for you to look in the mirror for yourself about who you need to become to be worthy of the business that you want to build and the income that you want to create. Okay, so it is something to think about what I'm going to share with you today. But let's say hello to, we've got Beth, we've got Yvette. Yvette was on for all 5 days. Wow, well done. Hello, Cherie. How are you? Hello, Mike. Good to see you on. We've got Meredith as well. Good morning in your part of the world. Hello, Donna. Good to see you here. Hello, Tonya. I haven't watched it. Did you hear about it, though, Tonya? That's what I'm curious about. Because this is what I'll say about something like that. If you didn't hear about it, that's one thing. But if you did hear about, do you know how much people pay? People like Tony and Dean and all the other guest speakers they had Matthew McConaughey, you know, the actor. He was one of the guest speakers, all for free. All for free. Like, if you didn't participate in that at all, you've kind of missed a bit of a golden opportunity. I haven't watched it all or every hour of it, but just watching bits and pieces has really fueled me to make some decisions which I've implemented just in the last couple of days. So don't overlook things like that, because, to get that kind of training, and yes, they're selling something on the end of it, but you don't have to buy that. If you take the good stuff and the training before that, then you can actually learn a lot, and it can just be something that can motivate you to push you forward. Yes, Yvette, so much content was on that challenge. Listening was electric. Hey, Laurie, how are you? I caught all of it but Saturday, but I caught most of the replay today. I got so many nuggets out of that training. Awesome. Hello, Facebook user. Hello, Pauline. Good to see you on. We've got Ford. We've got Azeb. Oh, you heard it from me. Okay, cool. I heard about the event and watched a bit, but not all. That's cool. Meredith, I saw it, did a virtual UPW free earlier this year. Okay, it was amazing. 5 a.m. starts, but worth it. Yeah. Then there's always the replays. So what I want to share with you is, I just really want you to think about this, because this is something Dean said, and it's just so true for us to self-reflect. Like, I know you guys want to learn all the fancy stuff and, do reels and TikToks and email marketing and all the things. And as your business grows, you should learn all the things, but it's got to start with you. You all know that. My first video of the week is always something to do with, I'm just going to take that banner off the screen. Hang on a second. Is something, where is it? There we go. It's always something to do with self-reflection, personal growth, personal development, because the only way you're going to have a successful business is if you pull your finger out and get yourself out of your own way. Sorry, it's just reality. You do need skills. You do need knowledge. You need to learn things, but skills and knowledge don't mean anything if you don't have the drive, the belief, the self-motivation, all those kind of things to go and make it happen. I mean, is that fair to say? At the end of the day, it comes down to you. I don't have any more resources than you do. You don't have any more resources than I do necessarily. We've all got the same, but it's as to what you go and do with it. But here's the comment I want to make, and Dean made this comment. Who we are when no one is watching is really who we are. So I want to ask you, if I came to your house and followed you around for 7 days, would you inspire me? What would I see you do? Would I see you reading, organizing, planning content, networking, exercising, planning your meals, listening to motivational things? What would I see if I followed you around for a week? Would you be sitting on the couch much? Would you be scrolling social media aimlessly and actually just consuming instead of creating? Would you be chasing your family around 7 days a week, night and day, and not do anything for your business or for yourself? Would you leave yourself behind in that full 7 days and do everything for everyone else, or, other than yourself? Or would you be planning and creating and, all those kind of things? Would you inspire me if I spent 7 days with you right now? What would I learn from you if I spent 7 days following you around with a camera? I'd be like, geez, they're up early in the morning, exercise, good luck to them. They're tired. I can see it in their eyes, but they're jumping out of bed to do some reading and some journaling and exercising and whatever. And wow, aren't they so good at planning out their meals? And look at them go first thing in the morning with plowing through 3 hours of work before they get the kids to school, whatever. But the point I'm trying to make is sometimes it's a real reality check when we're disappointed in our businesses, is what is it that you're actually doing day by day? And we really are who we are if somebody followed us around for a week. So you would know the saying of who do you need to become? So if you want to build a 6-figure business, are you worthy of a 6-figure business at the moment? Are you driven enough? Are you doing enough work to justify that? Are you doing the uncomfortable things? Are you doing the things that are scary? Are you worthy of a 6-figure business right now? Or are you making excuses? You fall asleep during the day if you don't work. You're scrolling social media without any intention. You're not planning any content whatsoever. You're doing everything at the last minute. Then you haven't posted for 5 days because you didn't plan, anything out, like all of that kind of stuff. Like, which person are you? So why I share this is, any guru that you look at Dean, you look at, Tony Robbins, and something that struck me about what Dean said about Tony is sometimes your mentors don't live up to who you think they really are. They hide behind social media and they hide behind the rah-rah and they hide behind stuff. And when you meet them in person, they're just not quite the person that you thought they were. And Dean was saying about Tony, exactly the opposite happened. When he met Tony in person, you could not meet anyone that was more self-serving or helpful or caring or whatever. Like, what person are you when no one's looking? You know, who are you behind the scenes? Because all those people that you look up to, they're doing the hard yards when no one's looking. They're reading books when no one's looking. They're planning out their content when no one's looking. They're exercising when no one's looking. They're planning out their meals when no one's looking. They're doing the things where people see, oh, they're an overnight success. No, they're not. Like, everybody thought Gary Vee was an overnight success. He was years and years in the making of trying to create social media content and getting his voice heard. And he got shut down and shut down and shut down. And then suddenly he got a social media presence and everyone started listening to him. And he tells this story a lot. It wasn't overnight. It's never overnight. All those people work really hard behind the scenes when no one's watching. And sometimes then it seems like they're an overnight success. You could be that person. You could be that person in the future that people think are an overnight success. But you got to work hard when no one's watching. Am I making sense? I'm trying to highlight this because it's made me think of what I do. And I'm pretty dedicated and I'm pretty organized. I have to do all the things that I do. But it's really made me think about my mornings. And I've just created, with a couple of other leaders of mine, we've created a whole new system for our network marketing team. And it's like, nah, that's got to take priority in my day. I've done that today. And even this morning, it's like, you know what? I'm going to get up and exercise and not look at my messages. So I delayed that for about an hour more than I normally do, because it's like, no, Helen, this is your time. You've got to set yourself up for success and not get into your messenger and answer everybody else's questions. And then you haven't had time to exercise, which has happened to me so many times. I get up and I'll look in my phone and there's messages there. And then an hour later, I've attended to everybody else and what they want from me and meetings they want me to set up for them and all this and all that. And I've just left myself behind. So you can't do that. You've got to set yourself up when no one's watching what you're doing for you and nobody else. And that's how you become worthy of becoming a six-figure earner. So I just really want you to just take that on board, is who we are. So this is quoted from Dean. Who we are when no one is watching is really who you are. So when no one's watching, what are you doing? You know, all the things I just mentioned before, okay? And something else I loved what Dean said is sometimes I'm just trying to get the wording he said here. Sometimes your thoughts are a millimeter apart. And he gave this example. He learned from Tony Robbins, and he got some information about building a business and stuff like that. And back in the day, there wasn't anything like social media or Facebook Lives or anything like that. So he had to pay for an infomercial to get done and all those kind of things, and media buying and, paying $50,000 to have space in media to share his infomercial, those kind of things. And he was $250,000 in debt for his project. And his sister came and gave him an intervention. So it's like, we're really proud of you and what you've achieved so far, but you've taken this way too far now. You're massively in debt. What the hell are you doing? This is an intervention. You've got to stop. You're sending yourself broke, all the rest of it. So as he put it, a millimeter apart thoughts. I want more out of life. I don't want what everyone else is taking. I don't want an average life. I want more. I'm going to work for more. If I have to invest before I reap the rewards, so be it. So there's that way of thinking. Or after he had that conversation with his sister, he had the same conversation with his father and some other people. And it's like, they're right. Who am I? I've got myself into this massive debt. Like, who do I think I am? Who's going to listen to me? So those thoughts are like a millimeter apart. Should I or shouldn't? I'm like, have you guys felt that before in your businesses? I can do it. No, I can't. You get motivated for like a couple of weeks and then, life gets back in the way and you're doubting yourself again and the fear creeps back in and you're like, I can't do this. I'm out. So those thoughts are like a millimeter apart. And he chose, thankfully, for his whole career, his bank balance, his family, and all of us who listen, thankfully, he chose the thought that I want more. I'm willing to risk it. I want more. So I just encourage you to think about that as well, because your thoughts could be a millimeter apart in I'm going for it. I'm going to seek guidance. I'm going to seek skill. I'm going to get educated. I'm going to lock arms with people that are just a little bit further than I am and follow that path. Or you can listen to the people that are happy, quite happy to sit in their average life and tell you it's not going to work because it makes them feel better because they're scared of what would happen if you succeeded. You know, there's a lot of your family and friends that put you down and don't support you because they don't want to see you succeed. Does that sound, that sounds a bit wrong. They do want to see you succeed, but some people get very jealous of people that succeed and getting left behind. So people react in very different ways, regarding that. So you make a choice irrelevant of what, your family or friends or parents or sisters or brothers or whatever try to have an intervention with you. Why are you wasting your money on that? Have you made any money yet? And your reality is, well, no. So you listen to them instead of fully going forward and believing that you can do it. Because if you don't, it won't work. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't align yourself with the right people, it won't. It just won't happen for you. But what's important is what you're doing when no one's watching. Okay, these little things are really important. So just think of that little millimeter of difference of thinking there, and just back yourself and go for what you want, because you deserve it. You're worth it. Everyone's born for greatness. It's only your fear. Tony Robbins said this: the one thing that lets everybody down is fear. The main thing that stops people going for what they want is fear. What are they going to think of me? Am I going to succeed? What if this doesn't work? So you stop yourself before you even start because you're fearful that you won't make it happen. So we got to knock fear on the head and do it anyway. And I just want to take you back to something that they said in the beginning of the challenge is 2 things to do in a recession. Okay, so take on board this. So this is not my words. I'm just repeating to you what Dean and Tony have said. 2 things to do when you're headed for a recession, which is the reality of sort of what's happening around the world. 1, invest in yourself. So when you see these kind of things, you don't have to necessarily listen to every speaker. Like, it's hours and hours and hours of worth of content. But just the little bit I absorbed has made me think about a few things. Like, just taking bits and pieces of what you can is better than not taking anything at all. So investing in yourself, in time, that might be money, that might be mentorship or those kind of things, but investing in yourself. And the second thing, which is very relevant to our business, is do business that doesn't, can't even read my writing. It's meant to say require. Do business that doesn't require big capital investment, because it's too risky these days. So the industry that we're in of home-based business, like, you might think your monthly purchase for, if you're in a social selling business, direct sales, whatever, you might think that's huge. It's not in relation to building a business. And if you actually think of your business like a business and build it like a business, and actually, invest in yourself and learn the skills and knowledge, that's the 2 things Tony said. What did he say? Where did I have that written down? I can't remember. Oh, that's where I said, if you're going to change your life, you're not going to, this is something Tony said, if you're going to change your life, you're not going to do it without energy or training and skills. So if any of you have watched Tony Robbins at any of his events or whatever, he's huge on energy. He said, even when you get up in the morning, do you get up in the morning and energize yourself? If you don't, you're already behind the 8 ball. So just your state, your energy, exercising can do that. Music can do that, whatever floats your boat with sort of energizing yourself. But you got to have energy around what you do. So if you're demotivated, if you're a bit, unmotivated, or you just have a really, really low energy, that's your responsibility. Go and fix that. So find ways that works for you. And it doesn't have to be exercise. Exercise works for me. It could be music. Just the right type of music can change your mood, those kind of things. And skills and training is what he said as well. But perfect for the advice that they're giving. Invest in yourself and do business that doesn't require big capital. That's our business model all over. So this is what they're recommending that we do. So you can do that, but you've got to have energy around that. And just remember what I said before about what are you doing when no one's watching? Is that setting you up for success, or is it letting you down? I just really encourage you to think about that for yourself and no one else but yourself. Not your family, not being a wife, a husband, a grandma, a grandpa, everybody else you have to look after. For you. What are you doing for you when no one's watching? Okay, that's important. All right, I'm just going to check on a couple of comments here and then we'll leave it. Okay. Yes, I would inspire you, I believe, watching me do the do, and you could watch me make banana bread. So Beth is backing herself there. And because I know Beth quite well and she's in my concierge team, I know she's just been away for like a couple of weeks with grandkids, but she's still posting. She's still going live. She's still doing all the tasks that she needs to do. So she's doing the do when no one's watching. So I know Beth is doing that. Probably not consistently before this last week, but today started a new plan of action. Yeah, Laurie's she's started a new plan, which is getting up a hell of a lot earlier than what she's normally does. And I can't wait to watch your journey. Makes a lot of sense from Mike. We have to go where the puck is going, not where it's at. I'm happy to say yes, they would be inspired. Awesome, Jade. Happy that you're backing yourself there. It was an amazing training with Dean and Tony, correct. Who we are when no one's watching is really who we are. So thank you for summarizing, whoever that was. Be willing to be your own rescue at the risk of other people's approval. Lisa Nichols, this is my favorite quote. That's awesome. So along the same vibe. Ford, when my chiropractic office was in my house, I can't tell you how many breakfasts I left on the table because a patient came early. It's great service, but at the cost of self-respect. I hear you, Ford. Thank you for sharing that. Couple more comments. A lot of times the fear is not the fact that you might screw it up, but more that you will look small when you start. You don't have to have it all figured out when you start. And I think that is people overthinking whether you can be valuable to other people. Just, stop overthinking this whole online thing. And that's not just directed at you, Laurie, everybody. And just turn up genuinely and authentically and share what's going on your world and share value around what it is that you help people with. If you just strip it all back and do that every day in your stories or posts and do a lot of networking and things like that, your social media will be much easier for you and it'll be less overwhelming as well. But so many things to sort of take from that. And it's been and gone sort of now. I don't even know if the replays are still there. They might be for a little while, but just really remember that, to think about who you are when no one's watching. What kind of person are you setting yourself up to be? Are you setting yourself up for somebody to win, for somebody to be worthy of a six-figure business? Or are you really quite letting yourself down with your activities that you do or lack of activities that you do? Only you know the answer to that. I just hope you could say, if somebody was following you around for a week, not fake, like, oh, I've got a camera following me for a week, I'll do this and this, and it's not what you really do for a week. Like what you do in a normal average week when no one's actually watching. Okay, so just food for thought, something to think about. I just hope that helps in some way for you to lift your game and just put more energy into what it is that you want out of life, and for your business. So tomorrow, join us on Clubhouse, where we are talking about a daily method of operation, how that can actually completely change your business, change your routine, change everything. So join us on Clubhouse. So if you need the link for that, if you just go to helenmartinonline.com/events, you'll find the link for that. You just need to download the Clubhouse app. And then when you click on the link, it'll take you straight there to that discussion at the right time. But if you click on the link, it'll tell you what time it is. Don't forget to opt in for the Lead Generation Bootcamp 2.0, which is starting all next week. So that's helenmartinonline.com/lead generation. And coaching community members, we're having big discussions this week about content creation and how to get you organized around that. And I'm going to give you a bit of a blueprint. Okay, so I will look forward to seeing you all on Clubhouse tomorrow and then back live here the next day. Okay, thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.